Hi everyone, thanks for joining in and getting to know what we've got new for you. Today we're going to look at our new offering, which is optimism-based rollups that you can set up in a single-click deployment. So we have recently launched our one-click deployment for OP chain setups, and that is what we're going to see today. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in here with one of my accounts, as you can see here. Immediately, if you log on to Zeeve, this is the dashboard that you get. Nothing new here. If there's anything in particular that you're looking for, then I would recommend you that you look towards our previous videos, which highlight our services a bit more. Our navigation, of course, has good categorization of the services that we offer, whether it be app chains, rollups, public chains, TraceI for data indexing, and other permissive chains as well. So today, our focus of discussion is opstack, which is one of the most established rollup protocols which are out there. Optimism, of course, being one of the very popular and one of the first early adopters of rollup technology, is one of the biggest chains that are running out there. And what they have launched quite some time back is a mechanism for other folks to also come in and launch their own application-specific rollup as well. Which can handle the transaction volumes and the kind of economics that their use case itself requires. So rollups, again, as we know, are a good way to get that block space for your applicational transactions. And Optimism is definitely one of the most established and very oldest players that are present in the industry. And today we've added the automation of one-click DevNet setup with OP chain as well. So here you can see that I've got a network here present already, but what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you the process of how you can actually establish an existing setup with OP chain as well. With a new setup with OP chain as well. So let me switch my screens here. This is a separate account that I've logged in with, and this is the screen that you'll be able to see the very first time that you come onto the platform and click on opstack. You can see a deploy DevNet button, so I can go ahead and just click on this one. While the button says DevNet, with full automation, we also have testnet and VNet options that you can select from, and I'll give you a run through of what they are. But a DevNet, firstly, is a quick way of interacting with OP chain stack without having to worry about any commercials or any transactions, any real implications of onboarding yourself with the stack that is required to interact with your transactions for. So DevNet is a quick and easy way to engage with for your application needs. And it's a simple one-click setup that you can have and get started with. So here you can see that we provide one OP node and X3 MPC node, one OP get node, OP batcher, and one OP proposer. These are the components that comprise of your sequencer or your replica nodes. And along with that, you'll have all the smart contracts which are deployed both on L1 and L2. A local get node. So this setup will be looking towards a local L1 network, not a public test network. That is important to note. For that, of course, you can use testnet or mainnet accordingly. A bridge UI to perform transfer of assets between L1 to L2 and L2 to L1. And also the explorers for both L1 and L2 layers for you to view as well. And lastly, you also have monitoring analytics that we'll perhaps do a deep dive into as well. So if I go ahead with the DevNet setup, you can look at that I just have to put down my details of network name. Let's say my OP chain. If I would add it like that, I can select the workspace that I want to be part of. And I can also select the address to which I would like to pre-mine some tokens. So let me just pull out an address here. And also pre-mine balance so I can get started with the transactions immediately. So this is the amount of Ether that I'll be having on this pre-mine account from the very beginning. That will allow me to engage with the network very easily. You can see here in terms of settlement layer, we've got Ethereum, and it's again a local get is what you're having. In terms of external DAs, this is again a DevNet, so there's not much of an option. For sequencer, we've got a centralized sequencer as of right now. But again, if you're interested in anything more, we can look into having some further discussions of engaging you with some decentralized sequencer projects which are out there as well. And for integrations, you can see that you will get out-of-box integrations for a bridge and LXLY bridge for purpose of transferring your token from L1 to L2 and L2 to L1, vice versa. An RPC interface for you to connect with and perform transactions, add it to your MetaMask wallet or whatever, and interact with your rollup network, as well as a blockchain explorer present for L1 and L2 both. It is important to note that these are all the front ends which are involved there, like Bridge UI and the Explorer, are just standard setup. However, with testnet and mainnet, you would have full white labeled Explorer as bridge as well, according to your needs. And further in third-party integrations, these are again not available in DevNet setup. But again, if you are looking for testnet, which I maybe just quickly give a glance of, you can also expect that you have options of those as well. So you can choose what kind of integrations you'd like to have, and you can submit the request where our team can actually take a look at. With testnet or mainnet setup, you get a lot of other options, like you can choose an external DA. Optimism has recently launched OP Plasma, a project which allows you to interface with different data storage options, which abstract the data layer out of your settlement layer itself, making it very cheap for your transactions to take place with the rollup, as well as you get to choose what layer you'd like to store it, whether it should be a simple S3 bucket or it could be a data availability of Celestia or an Avail and such. So if you have any needs, you can let us know of what provider that you'd like to go ahead with, and we can help you out with those options as well. Zeeve is, of course, partnered up with all of these data availability providers, and we are able to help you get a full package rollup solution with all of these providers as well. Similarly, with decentralized sequencers, although we are a little bit further away in terms of providing decentralized sequencing to our customers, as the products are still shaping in the industry, we can anyways align you with a roadmap of how you can achieve the decentralized sequencing with your rollup from today itself. And then, of course, you have further integrations if you have any services requirement, like let's say for account abstraction, third-party wallet providers, or further bridges, whether it be decentralized or centralized bridges like Axelar or Superbridge and such. Then you can again reach out to us, and we can help you with the setup of those as well. And oracles, decentralized oracles, as you can see, we have got a lot of options here, and you can pick any one of them for the purpose of your setup. So this is for testnet and mainnet. We'll stick to our DevNet for the time being and just go ahead and perform the setup. So once I have selected all my details, I can go ahead and click on deploy button here. And this will initiate my automated setup of OP Chain DevNet. As you can see here, this is my dashboard of a newly deployed OP Chain. It's got a lot of tabs that we'll probably jump a little bit deeper into. But yeah, it will take a bit of time for the whole setup to be completed. So you can see that the status of this network is in requested stage right now. And in about 30 to 40 minutes, you can expect that the setup will be fully completed, and you'll be able to see all the data along with the monitoring that we have to show. So I think what we'll do is that we will hop onto an existing network and show you guys how that looks instead. So as you can see here, this is the DevNet that we've already prepared previously. deployed almost recently, a couple of hours ago. And when you click on view, you'll be able to see the very dashboard where we last left off with the previous network that we had deployed. And some general details. You can look at the name of your network, the chain ID. You can look at the network, whether it's a DevNet, testnet, or mainnet, the status of it, and some general details along with some pre-mined balance that you have created for your account address here. So some general details here. And then on right side, you can see a bit more of a summary of what you've got as L1 block height and L2 block height of your OP chain setup, along with the healthiness of both the layers in your setup as well. So everything looks healthy there. And for your local gets, you can again look at the chain ID, the pre-minted account balances for your wallet address again. And you can also have a quick view of the Genesis file. And if you want, you can download this Genesis file as well to maybe set up some replica nodes elsewhere. You can see the summary of all the components that you're running in the DevNet. Of course, in testnet and mainnet, you can expect a bit more of components that will be spawned as well. On this section here, you can see that this is a tab where you can look at all the alerts based on the criticality. Maybe I will also talk about it a little bit ahead in our analytics screen as well. If you click on My Nodes, you can look at your nodes categorized with the various components which are present of OP chain. You can see the ID of the OP node, the name, the status, when it was created. You can look at some details as they become available to you, and you can also look at the monitoring, something that we'll jump onto in a little bit as well. Similarly, you've got RPC node, get nodes, batch-end nodes, and proposer nodes as well. If you wish to look at the RPC endpoint using which you can connect to your node, you can click the button here. And you can look at the RPC endpoint, the HTTPS endpoint, and the WebSocket endpoint with the authentication type of whether it's API key or using a password-based authentication, and as well as what kind of APIs are currently enabled on this RPC endpoint as well. If you have any wish to enable more APIs, you can reach out to our support and we can also help you with that setup. In the smart contract section, you've got all the contracts which are critical for the functioning of your setup. Contracts that are deployed on L1 blockchain, your local get in case of DevNet, and also contracts which are present as part of your L2 rollup itself. These are, as you can see there, you've got the name of the contracts along with the addresses. So this is there to just give you a bit of clarity of what are the different contracts, what are their purposes, and how you can narrow down to various functioning of those. You can look them up in the explorers, look at the logs that the contracts are producing, the transactions are producing, and do troubleshooting, debugging of whatever sort that you require. So the idea is that whoever is new to the rollup stack will have a lot of inertia, a lot of barrier in terms of understanding how it works. And we are trying to provide a lot of visibility of the components of the smart contracts and further tools to make it a bit easier for our customers to onboard with OP Chain. Finally, with Bridge, currently we have it in the alpha stage as of today. But in case you need to have an early access to it, you can reach out to us and we can help with the setup. With testnet and mainnet, we anyways are able to provide you with an out-of-box, white-labeled production-grade setup of bridges. So with testnet and mainnet, you will have it automatically anyways. For DevNets, feel free to reach out to us and we can help you with a bridge setup of your OP Chain DevNet as well. In Explorer, you can come to expect that you'll have a standard block sort-based Explorer. But again, for testnet and mainnet, based on your own branding, you can expect a full white labeling to be present for your Explorer. The whole theme, the color, the logos, everything would be fully changed according to your requirements. And that is how you can go about your OP Chain networks. So similarly, this is for the rollup chain. But for DevNets, we also provide L1 Explorer because you are running on local get. So in order to see the rollup transactions, to understand the behavior between both L2 and L1, it helps to have an L1 Explorer as well. Finally, in terms of monitoring, much like how we provide monitoring for all the blockchain components out there, we cover system metrics and blockchain metrics for your blockchain networks, where we have system metrics, which cover general parameters like CPU, memory, network I/O, disk utilization, just general parameters which are important from the infrastructure standpoint. We also cover blockchain metrics, which are important for your specific blockchain protocol. So here for OP chain, you can see the various metrics that we're able to capture, like the L1 blocks, the L1 head currently, L1 finalizer. These are some general bits. And then you have some L2 parameters of the L2 blocks that are being produced. The sync target in case you're looking for an OP node that is still syncing. And L2 finalization for any transactions that you're doing as part of your L2. So this is the last 5-minute data. If you want, you can even go back historically and look at some previous data as well for your network. And then also connected peers. So how many replica nodes your network might be connected to, or the sequence node. This is the peers that are present as part of your setup. And then finally, in the optimism info, you can see the version of what you're running, whether the setup is fully complete and ready or not. And then the traffic that is present between your node and all the other nodes as well. Based on these parameters, we're also able to issue alerts. So let's say the number of peers goes below a certain threshold. So this is a DevNet, so there's not much going on here, but in a testnet or mainnet environment, you can expect, first of all, a lot of other dashboards, a lot of other parameters that you can monitor in your OP chain setup, whether it be for sequencer or replica nodes, RPC nodes and such. And based on those parameters, again, we're able to issue alerts to you as well. So whether it be a CPU spike or in memory or disk utilization, or it could be some blockchain parameter, those alerts are issued to you on this panel here. This is a quick access for that. These alerts are also provided to you over email channels and also over MS Teams or Slack channels and such. Slack or Telegram, we support all these third-party communication channels where you can just connect your group to Zeeve, and all the notifications will also be presented to you on those as well. Apart from this, we also have our Zeeve mobile app, which is helpful for our customers who require a bit more portability. So you can be on top of your notifications, your monitoring panels and such from your mobile application itself. We support both iOS and Android at the same time. In terms of logging, you can see that you can look at the various logs which are produced by the components separately. So for OP node, the batcher, proposer, all the logs is something that we're able to capture, and with test and mainnet setup, we can expect it to be even more sophisticated, seeing that there will be more components, more number of nodes, and even more services that we'd like to look at the logs for if needed. So this covers our monitoring and logging bit as we were trying to capture. And again, this is just a DevNet that you see here. If you have the need to set up your test and mainnet, please feel free to reach out to us through our deployment panel that I just showcased a few minutes back, or just directly you can reach out to us from our website and we can help you with your requirements as well for whatever those are. We support custom gas token. That's a new feature that we are able to now help our customers with. So if they have a custom gas token that they like to have with OpenChain, we can now help them with that support as well. So any further updates or features that we launch, we'll keep you guys informed. Feel free to subscribe to us into all of our social channels on Telegram or LinkedIn, on Twitter. We have presence in I think pretty much all of them. Yeah. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you next time with some other interesting products as well. Thanks a lot. Bye.